Hi, my name is Alexander Carpenter, and today I'll be informing you on how to make my not so famous chicken taco bowl. Now, the reason I started making this is because one, it's cheap, two, it's easy to make in bulk, and three, it tastes pretty damn good. So firstly, what we're going to be doing is cooking rice. Now I don't do anything special, plain old rice recipe. 1 cup of rice to every 2 cups of water. Make sure you salt it enough. I never salt it enough, but you'll figure it out over time. Next, we're going to get to the pinto beans. Now, for the pinto beans, all you're going to do is you're going to put them in a pot for about an hour and a half on medium. They take a long time, you don't want to cook them too fast, but it'd be worth the wait. Now, to kick the beans up a bit, I use a habanero. Now, that may be a little spicy for some of you. You can use a jalapeno or no pepper at all, but I really think it pairs well with the beans. Now, one quick tip is you're gonna finish the beans out, you're gonna mash them real good. I like them mashed, I think they have a better texture that way. Whole, they're kind of hard to eat, but once you've mashed them up and you let them cool for about 20 to 30 minutes, you're gonna add some cilantro. Now, I just rough cut my cilantro because I really don't care for it to be fine, and it really doesn't matter all that much. So once you get some rough cut cilantro, throw it in there, stir it up, and keep it to the side for when you're done with the rest of the meal. Now next, what we're going to be cooking is the main part of the dish, and that's the chicken. For me, I like to get half breast chicken, and I like to wait till it's 99 cents a pound on sale at stores. It's really cheap. It has the ribs attached, which is a little more work, but it's worth it for the cost. Now what you're going to do with the chicken is you're going to cook it for 45 minutes to an hour on medium. You want to make sure it's nice and soft. To season it, I just use chicken bouillon. I don't keep the broth, so it's really not that important to me. I would say for every about 4 pounds of chicken, 2 bouillon cubes should be enough, maybe 3, but it really doesn't matter that much. That's not where we're going to get our flavor from. So once you're done cooking it, you're going to pull it out. You're going to pull off these rib bones on the bottom. They come off fairly easy, especially if the chicken's still a little bit warm. Next, we're going to get the skin off. Again, not too bad. And then you're going to sit there and you're going to peel it. Now, peeling it can be quite tedious. So what I usually do is put on a good video, movie, TV show, whatever you want to do, and just sit there and grind it out. So once you're done with that, you're left with the shredded up chicken. Now what I do with this is I take this, I put it in a pan with regular old vegetable oil, and I add taco seasoning mix. Now I don't use chicken taco seasoning mix, I use the regular beef. I think it tastes better, but there's one little thing you gotta watch out for. This says you use 1 packet for every pound of beef, but beef has a lot of fat, so it cooks down a lot. So instead what I do is for every pound of chicken, I would say maybe 1.5 packages of this. Another little tip I would tell you is this directions will tell you 3/4 of a cup of water for every 1 packet. If you do that with a bunch of chicken, it tends to turn into soup, and cooking it down is going to take forever. So I'd say go a little easy on the water, maybe 1/2 cup or even less for every 1 package you do. Now, you're going to let that simmer out, put it on medium. You don't want to overcook the chicken. The chicken's already good enough. So medium, just to let the water boil out, and once you're done, you're left with taco chicken seasoning mix. And now, all we have to do is assemble the dish. Now, nothing too fancy. I would say rice on the bottom. I like more rice than beans and chicken because I think it gives a good texture to the dish, and it's cheap that way. Rice is so cheap. And so once you get a good layer on the bottom, kind of just smooth it out, and then we're going to come over to the beans. Get a good helping of those beans. You can tell there's a lot of cilantro in there. It might be a little much, but I really like to taste cilantro. I think it's crisp and it's nice and it adds a lot to the dish. Finally, we're going to top it off with our chicken mix. Now don't put too much. The chicken's the best thing, don't get me wrong, but it can overpower the dish if you add too much to it. Now, it wouldn't be a taco without cheese. I like to add a good helping of cheese because I love cheese. But it's really up to your own taste. Now, it's done. You can package that up. I usually make about 10 to 15 at a time because I do these bulk cooks. I throw a few in the freezer for the next week and keep out 5 to 6 for the week. Now, there's one little tip that I do, and that's when I'm ready to eat it, I pull it out and I add a lime to it. I really like the taste of lime. I think it adds a lot to the dish. I use a half a lime per bowl. That might be a little much for you, so it's really up to your own taste. Now, the final step is I use flaming hot Fritos, because it wouldn't be a taco if it didn't have a crunch. So I just bring a small bag of this with me, nuke it up in the microwave, throw that on top, maybe bring a little bit of hot sauce, and you're good to go. So, there it is, my not so famous chicken bowl. It ain't too much, but it's definitely a lot better than the food at RCC. So I hope that I've informed you today and that you try it out. So now I'd like to introduce my wonderful audience.
Hi.
Thank you very much.